I've said some good things about Pakistan on LinkedIn, and I get so much love and support that it's amazing.
Hello and Assalamu alaikum listeners and viewers. This is me, your host Fahad Younis, and you're watching Meri Kahani show. And listeners, as you know, in Meri Kahani show, we invite some awesome celebrities from around the world. They actually come to our show. They share their journeys of life and inspire a lot of other people who are listening or watching us on our different forums. The purpose of this show is actually to connect people, who are from outside Pakistan and connect them to the Pakistanis, and also introduce Pakistanis to the international community. And in today's episode, we have a wonderful and amazing guest live with us from US, and he is Randall Agee, live with us from US. And who is Randall? He is an amazing soul. I just met him a couple of days ago. Randall is actually he has many things, and sometimes I think like people like Randall are blessing for us, because they are not just American, but they are also in love with Pakistan. So when we talk about such Americans, we really feel proud, and we really feel proud to have them on our show. So Randall is one of them, and Randall is actually president of All Shore Virtual Staffing, and he's also doing a couple of other things. His upcoming project in Pakistan is Go Pakistan. What is Go Pakistan? We will also learn from Randall. I think we should start talking with Randall. Thank you very much, Randall, brother, for joining us today in our show. How are you doing? Most welcome in our studios.
Thank you very much for having me. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. We are really proud to have you on our show today. And what I learned about you, you are an amazing guy who is also doing a lot of things for Pakistanis. So Randall, how all this started? Where did you start your journey? Please share with our audience.
Sure. Well, I'm from Oklahoma, which is a state right in the middle of the United States. I grew up in a small town called Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. It's a town of about 5,000 people. And now I live in a city that's about 30 minutes north of where I grew up. So I've kind of always stayed in the same place from the same state. So Oklahoma is a state much like, I almost equate it to Pakistan, because here in Oklahoma, we don't have a great national reputation in the United States. And, from working with Pakistan over the years, I've gathered that Pakistanis also feel that, they don't have a great reputation in the world. And that's kind of a very big injustice that goes on in the world because of the media coverage and things like that. So, one of the things that I love about Pakistan is I can relate to you guys because, Oklahomans, we love whenever celebrities talk good about Oklahoma. We fall in love with those celebrities, and I've said some good things about Pakistan on LinkedIn, and I get so much love and support that it's amazing. And I can totally understand why, being from Oklahoma. So I write about that on a blog post, and I'll share that with you, at the end of the show, where you can find that article.
All right. Thank you very much for letting us know about this awesome topic in your life. And especially thank you very much for your kindness with the Pakistani people and what you think about. Really appreciate it. So Randall, how did you get this in your mind? You started working with Pakistanis. Please share a bit about your experience, with Pakistanis. Okay.
Well, back in 2008, I wanted to start an software development company. So, one of the problems that I had was I wasn't a very good developer. So I needed somebody that had the expertise that could deliver the kind of quality that I wanted to deliver to my clients. I met Raheel Afzal, who was in Islamabad back in 2008. And he and I worked on a project together for the University of Oklahoma. And I was just absolutely blown away by Raheel's dedication, his loyalty to me, the hard work that he put into everything. I just never knew, that I could get that kind of support from Pakistan. And how I found him was actually through Odesk. I had put out a job ad on Odesk looking for somebody to help me with this project. And I expected all Indian companies to respond. And of course, a lot of them did. But I kept noticing Pakistani companies that were also responding to my job ad. And I was blown away. I thought, Pakistan, I had no idea. I had really never talked to anybody in Pakistan before 2008. Never. I don't think I ever talked to anybody here that was from Pakistan before 2008. So I had zero idea about what was in Pakistan. But one thing I noticed, about all of those job responses, the people that were trying to get the job from me, were the Pakistani responses were really, really good. They were really well written, and they were much better than anybody else's responses. So it piqued my interest. I thought, well, if these guys can communicate this well, then let me try to talk to one of them. And so I did. I talked to a guy named Imran Ahmed. He worked at a company that I responded to, and he and I talked for about 30 minutes on the phone, and I could not believe the conversation that we were having. We talked about American rock bands. We talked about American pop culture. I mean, I could have sworn that he grew up only, 5 miles away from my house, because we had so much in common. The jokes that we would share, it was just, everything was just so perfect. I couldn't believe it. And so I gave that company a shot, and the developer that I worked with there, his name was Raheel. And Raheel and I ended up making a beautiful friendship out of that relationship. And Raheel and I started our companies together. So, Raheel has always been in charge of hiring the developers in Pakistan, and I've always been in charge of finding the clients in the U.S. And, we've made this magical company happen from that relationship. So, I've worked with Pakistanis now for over 10 years. I have over 125 employees in Pakistan, Lahore, Islamabad, Karachi. We've got offices in all of those big cities. We recruit from, Multan and all the different inside cities in Pakistan. So it's wonderful. I absolutely love working with Pakistani people.
Amazing. You know a lot about Pakistan, and you just don't know. You are actually doing practical things with Pakistani people, and thank you very much for sharing this journey, sharing this and I can really feel your feelings about Pakistanis. So Randall, you shared about your experience with Pakistanis, and you are also we know about this thing that you're gonna start something for branding Pakistan, and which will be called Go Pakistan. So would you love to please share something about Go Pakistan? What is it actually? Why are you starting this? And what is the purpose behind this thing?
Sure. Well, on LinkedIn, I have about 31,000 followers, and most of those are from Pakistan. And over the years, I've said good things about Pakistan on LinkedIn to try to promote Pakistan as a country where, the international community can find, very highly skilled workers. And so whenever I post those things on LinkedIn, I get thousands and thousands of Pakistanis appreciating me, like I had said before. And so I also get, thousands and thousands of private messages asking me to help, as far as helping with, how did I start a business? Do I have any advice? Can I give any advice? And, I spend a lot of time trying to answer those questions one by one. And so it's extremely time consuming, and I'm not really able to reach a lot of people. So I created GoPakistan.com. It's something that I've wanted to do for 5 years. I'm finally getting to the point where I can start it and maintain the blog. And so, Go Pakistan is my way to give back to Pakistani people for all the wonderful things that they've given me over the years. I tell my employees in my company that each time we give them an American client, first and foremost, they're representing Pakistan. A lot of our American clients have never worked with Pakistanis before, just like I hadn't before 2008. So, a person in our company, it's the first time they've ever had exposure to somebody from Pakistan. And so they're going to base their judgment on the entire country on their interactions with one person. And so we really tell our employees that, you guys are heroes of Pakistan because you are going out and showing the world just how professional Pakistan is, just how, the skilled labor, the highly professional people that are in Pakistan. You're showing the world that, and you're changing minds and you're changing hearts and you're changing opinions about Pakistan. And so, that's one thing that I want to help with. I see a lot of profiles on Fiverr, Upwork, a lot of people that contact me from Pakistan. A lot of times the communication is not as professional as what I would like to see. I'm kind of a perfectionist in that sense. I like to see, communication that is extremely well thought out. It's, the grammar has been checked. The English is perfect. And so, Go Pakistan is my way to try to help Pakistanis, develop those international skills so they can market themselves internationally. It does help raise the image of Pakistan to the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Randall, for sharing this amazing idea, the Go Pakistan idea, with the viewers and listeners. So, Randall, you also visited Pakistan. So, would you love to please share your experiences while you were visiting Pakistan?
So yeah, in 2012, I went to Pakistan and spent about 10 days in Pakistan. And it was one of the most wonderful, memorable experiences of my life. And, I remember the feeling whenever we were flying to Abu Dhabi. We went to Abu Dhabi first. And then when we walked through the terminal at Abu Dhabi to go to the gate where our plane was going to leave for Pakistan, I started getting a little nervous about it. And, just thinking, oh my gosh, I've never been on this side of the planet. I've never traveled this far away from home. And here I am about to get on a plane to go to Pakistan. And what do I expect? What's it going to be like? I have no idea. Well, I had Raheel and a lot of my other managers. I knew they were waiting at the airport for my arrival. And I remember this gentleman came up to me. He was Pakistani in the Abu Dhabi airport. And he started asking me questions, like, hey, you're going to Pakistan? What do you do in Pakistan? And I told him about Allshore and about our office. And he couldn't believe it. He was just blown away, and he was so happy. He was a young guy, and he was so happy that we were coming to Pakistan to meet everybody. And, I started feeling more comfortable at that point. And then we got on the plane, and the plane wasn't very full, and I was kind of crammed in with somebody else. And I decided to kind of get up and go walk and sit in a more, area that there wasn't anybody on the plane. And I got up out of my chair, and I had my bag, and I set my bag on this chair where I was going to move to. And this older Pakistani gentleman, he said, "You can't sit there." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry." He goes, "No, I'm just kidding. You can sit there, And so I just went, "Oh, wow. Okay. Now I feel really comfortable." So that guy was joking around with me. And I thought, how wonderful, if this older man is going to play tricks and joke around with me, then everything's going to be fine. And so then we landed at the airport, and I heard all these little children around me singing these nursery rhyme songs that I'm familiar with. They come down from England, and so they were singing these little English version of these nursery rhyme songs. And I thought, man, this is no different than being at home. And so I started getting more and more comfortable. And then when we got into the terminal, one of my managers, his father was head of customs in the Islamabad airport, and he came up, greeted us, and just pretty much parted the sea of people and led us right into the customs clearing area. And then before we knew it, we were out the door into our car with our managers that we had never met before, but we had worked with them for about 4 years online. And then all of a sudden we're seeing them in person for the first time, and it was truly, an emotional moment. It was really cool to see them and shake their hands and give them hugs and be face to face with them. But the whole rest of the trip just went that way. It was just a wonderful experience. Everybody was so kind. I felt like a king everywhere I went. The hospitality was second to none. Never been anywhere where people treated me any better than when I went to Pakistan. So it was just a blast. And, my mouth hurt after a while from smiling through so many pictures. everybody wanted to take pictures, and it was just, I can't describe it. I can't wait to come back someday soon. So, and I actually write about it. I actually have written about that trip. I wrote kind of a diary after every single day, and that's on the All Shore virtual staffing blog about my trip to Pakistan. And I will try to get those blogs kind of out and maybe put them on Go Pakistan so people can read that experience as well. But
so Randall, what message would you love to convey to the audience, especially the youth who is listening and watching you on our different forums?
The one thing that I would say about Pakistan is you guys have a lot to be proud of. There's one of the richest histories of the world is in Pakistan. It goes back thousands and thousands of years. And so you guys have a lot to be hopeful for in your country. The youth of Pakistan is quite vibrant. I was able to talk to some students at the university in Islamabad, and I was blown away by the questions that they asked after the presentation that I gave. I mean, they're extremely intelligent, extremely smart, and I was so happy. I mean, every question they asked, I went, wow, that's a great question. And I was able to answer their questions, but it really showed me that these guys are, these young people that are in these universities that are wanting to start businesses. I mean, they are on the right path. And so, Pakistan's got a bright future, but it all really just comes down to how you present yourself to the world as far as a professional point of view. And so, that's, again, what I want to help with on gopakistan.com is I just want people to come there and learn from my experiences. Like I said, I've been doing this for about 10 years. I'm 40 years old now, so I've got a lot of life experiences and life lessons that I can share with people. And so, I've taught a lot of people in my own company how to behave as far as professionally, and how to own up to mistakes that they make, and don't blame other people for anything that happens to you, because ultimately your life is up to you. And so, those are some of the life lessons that I've given to the people in my company, and they love me for it. I love them for it. It's a wonderful experience. And so I'm just, I'm very hopeful for Pakistan. But Pakistanis, they need to really learn some of the professional tricks and some of the ways to kind of handle yourself out there in the international world, so Pakistan can really start attracting investors and further opportunities from the world. And that's what I hope to help with.
Thank you very much for this wonderful message for the audience. And Randall, we also want to know about your other projects, what you are doing, and especially about All Shore, if you want to share, what kind of services do you have in All Shore?
Sure. All Shore is a company, like I said before, that we started in 2008, and it's a software development company. We staff full-time developers to American clients. The developers come into our offices, like I said, in those 3 major cities. We have, very nice facilities for them to come in and work, and, bless these people that come to work for us, because they come to work at 5:30 p.m. and they leave at 2 a.m. Pakistani time. And that makes the whole business model work, because our American clients want developers that they can talk to as they, are working their times here. So the people that work in our company, I'm very grateful to them for their sacrifice. I know that it's not easy, but they're willing to do it. And, they're willing to do it because the work environment is a family environment. And of course, we pay competitive salaries to make sure that it's worth their time. But, All Shore has grown to, we have about 100 developers hired out across the United States, and we have about 30 support staff that help support all of those relationships. And that means we have about 125 Pakistani people employed. And so, what that means for Pakistan is All Shore is, we send money every month, a lot of money every month to pay all those salaries and expenses and rent and all that stuff. So, one of my biggest things that I'm proud of is that I've been able to provide so many jobs for so many people. And whenever you create a company that people depend on like that, it's a very special thing. And so, not only the people that work for us depend on it, but their families depend on it. The children and their parents and everybody that lives in the household, they all depend on that salary. And, over 1,000 people depend on Allshore, from my calculations. And that's very important to me. And I take a lot of pride in that. So, that's one of the coolest things about starting a business is contributing back to the economy and helping other people.
Thank you very much for giving us this information, Randall. And if someone wants to know more about you or your company or your project, especially about Go Pakistan, how people can find you, your businesses, and Go Pakistan project online?
Sure. GoPakistan.com is probably the easiest way to find me and to find about GoPakistan.com. I try to write as many articles as I can, and I'm the one writing the articles. So everything that you see on that website is from me, and it's a kind of a heartfelt messages, and I explain to people what my weaknesses are so they can learn from my weaknesses and how I've overcome them. So I'm one of the things that I pride myself on is I'm a pretty humble guy. I don't really like a lot of praise. I'm an introvert, so it's hard for me to want to go talk to a lot of people. But I'm doing it. I'm getting out there and I'm enjoying it. But I talk about that in the website. There's a lot of other people like me that wonder how can they start a business if they don't really want to be the front man of the business. And so I kind of help with that. I really kind of just tell everybody my story and how I've overcome things, and then how I deal with employees and all that stuff. So GoPakistan.com is where you can find me. Allshore Virtual Staffing is also, allshorevirtualstaffing.com is the website of our company. And then, of course, our company name in Pakistan is Datum Square IT Services. And their offices are in Lahore and Islamabad. And then I'm partnered with Zepcom Communications in Karachi.
All right. Thank you for giving us all this information, Randall.
Sure.
And finally, we ask a question from our honorable guest, like Meri Kahani show, what we are doing. What do you think about this show? And would you love to give us some suggestions or any words for Meri Kahani show?
No, I really like your show. I like your personality. You've got a very welcoming, easy to talk to personality. So, you make me very comfortable. I'm sure you make your other guests very comfortable with your personality. So just keep doing that. You've kind of got this glow about you that's positive, and that's a wonderful trait to have. So no, I think your show is great, and I hope it reaches a lot of people.
Thank you very much, Randall, for your words about me and the Meri Kahani show. And we really appreciate what you think about us. Definitely, it's because of people like you who come to our show and, they appreciate us, what we are doing. So we will be connected in future too. Anything else you missed or you want to add at the end of this interview?
No, I think that we've covered almost everything. The one thing that I really want to stress is Pakistan has got a bright future. It really does. The youth there is exceptional. They're very smart. All the new software technology companies that are coming out in Pakistan, it's incredible. I just want to make sure that people there represent themselves very professionally in the international audience, because that's the fastest way to overturn any national perception of a country is whenever everybody is communicating extremely well, everybody is extremely professional. That's one of the fastest ways to kind of turn the public opinion. So, that's what I hope to help with. And so that's it.
Thank you very much, Randall, for coming up on our show, and thank you very much for sharing everything about your life, about your business, and especially the things you are doing for Pakistan. We really appreciate. We will be connecting with you in future too, and we would love to have you again in some of other episodes which might come in future soon. So we will be connected.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a good day.
Okay. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so you heard the story of Randall Agee. He was live with us from Oklahoma, USA. Randall shared each and everything about his and his mission, and especially he shared his lot of amazing experiences working with Pakistanis, and his feeling was really awesome. And you can also contact Randall. You can see Randall's profile online. We put all the links in our lower thirds. You can also watch a lot of other stories at merikahani.org as well as at facebook.com/Meri Kahani. This was today's episode. See you next episode. Till then, take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.